Nous plantons nous pas récolter à cause que gens confyans là. Mal moi-même en tant que jeune nous planter groupe même quand nous groupe pas périr là à cause du soleil. Nous pas joindre de l'eau parce que nous pas l'état vraiment qui pour encadrer nous. En tant que jeune n'a fait effort pour nous voir si que nous t'a sorti dans situation que nous difficulté nous y là malgré ça c'est plonger là-dedans parce que quand m'a parlé là si ça va arriver pour comment pour périr manioc et maïs c'est ba tête chargée.
So they're just talking about so many of their crops are rotting right now. They're planting. We solved the big problem, which was water. We have water. They're planting. But now all of their crops are rotting because they don't have the agricultural machinery. And they used to have it. Like even last year, some of them had the machinery. But because there are so many farmers, people aren't going to the DR. They're staying here to plant in our land. Because there are so many farmers and so few machines, they can't. They're losing all of their crops. And we'll see some of the crops that it's going to just go to waste. Je peux expliquer. Dice, yon ami, a friend of mine, il sorti Colombia, mais il gagne un gros réseau États-Unis. Pour moi-même, je dis, je viens avec un petit support pour quelques Peyizan. Mais plus gros support capable de porter, c'est monsieur ça, il gagne plus passer 3 millions de monde qui suivent lui. Je voulais dire histoire pour ouais, qui ça cap fait là en Haïti. Nous travaillons pour un canal. Quand nous besoin plus support, I said, hey, today I have a little support that I have to give you. I think the biggest support that I could give is like connecting you to this man who has such a huge audience. Tell your story. Let them see who you are. And I think that is probably the biggest gift that I can give you guys. So that's why I explain. Ligele, your name?
Nicolas.
Yeah, Nicolas.
Enchanté. C'est Joannem.
10 years. He's been going, knocking on the door of the government, the Department of the Ministry of Agriculture for the Northeast. And he's been asking them, please, build a dam in this area. There is 7,000 hectares of land that can really benefit from, there's a huge water source right over here. They've done nothing. So he's like, I'm going to do it myself.
Comme nous, c'est diaspora qui veut le développement réel pour le pays, nous chita avec mon zone et puis nous lancer ouverture, création pour nous faire travail ça.
So we have seen that the diaspora are the ones who really want change in the country. So I sat down with leaders in my community and I said, okay.
Nous avons l'idée, nous avons détermination, mais l'énergie a sorti à travers Lavwadlamerik.
We had determination, we had the vision, we wanted to start this movement, but the true change started in Wanamet, where we're going to go next. That's like the birth of this agricultural revolution in Haiti.
Le comité ici est très prudent parce que nous ne voulons pas pour le monde dire parce que Wanamet diaspora porter l'argent ba yo, nous venons faire un bagay tout pour porter l'argent ba nous.
So we have to be very careful, our committee. We didn't want the world to say, oh, there was so much money in Wanamet, they poured so much money in this, and so now Malfeti, they just want to make money, that's why they're starting their own canal. We didn't want the world to think that this was a money thing at all.
Pour raison ça, toute première semaine, deuxième, troisième semaine de travail, nous pas jamais demandé même. Nous avons travaillé jusqu'à ce que nous ce travail là commandé pour tête.
So that's the reason why, for the first, second, third week, we said nothing at all. We just dug. We just kept on digging and digging because we didn't want them to think that this was about money. We wanted to prove that this is about change. And then finally, people started to look and see what we were doing. They saw how far these youth were digging, and it just caught on. And now they've got a canal.
Parce que diaspora haïtien tellement le pays a développé depuis yo ouais font bagay qui réel yo intégré yo là-dedans.
He's like, let me tell you, the Haitian diaspora, they so desperately want to see the country change and advance, so much so that if they see you're doing a real thing, they will invest and they will put their money where their mouths are, and that's what they're doing here.
Tout ça nous quand nous camper là, c'est pas de l'argent qui passe là déjà grâce à diaspora.
What you're seeing here, what you're standing on right here, it was actually really expensive. He's like, there's so much money that we've spent already in this canal. It is because of the Haitian diaspora.
Il y a un premier béton qui fait. Avant premier béton, il y a 27 camions et 16 mètres cubes blancs qui là-dedans.
Yeah. So we've got like 27
camions,
27 trucks of fill, like landfill, like here, and then we have so many other materials that you can even see the iron. There are combien de tonnes fait nous là?
Là pour 25 tonnes fait déjà.
25 tons of iron is all around us and underneath this
Fait à
structure.
demi.
Yeah.
Et qu'on a, nous besoin 7 tonnes là pour nous capables finaliser bout ça en l'air.
So now we need another 7 tons for us to finish the entire head of the canal.
Mais nous avons des gens qui a aidé nous dans la question ça.
But we already have someone that has promised to help us with the 7 tons left.
Il y a un diaspora qui dit nous acheter crédit, la payer pour nous dans la question faire.
There's a diaspora that said buy it in credit and I'm going to help you
Et
purchase it.
nous avons marqué 11 pour 25 là, c'est diaspora qui fait nous cadeaux. Tout bagaille à nous dépend de diaspora.
Everything that we have, it depends on the diaspora. Like they've been supporting this revolution. It's powerful.
C'est ça qui fait nous reconnaître ça diaspora vaut pour payer à passer presque toute bagaille en Haïti. Même question taux de dollar, c'est grâce à diaspora qu'a voulu comme qui fait good là toujours existé toujours parce que nous pas de production, c'est grâce à diaspora.
Even the remittances that we see, it's a Haitian diaspora that's sending money every year to our country, and they help to stabilize the Haitian dollar. Like, so he says that I recognize the value that the Haitian diaspora has to our country.
N'est qu'à bouquer gen leader, n'est qu'à bouquer c'est initiative mouvement. Si m'pas gen un groupe monde dans comité qui te travailler ensemble avec nous, qui comprend le travail là, qui comprend le résultat du travail là, m'pas pas faire rien.
I would have been discouraged. I would have stopped with this work if it weren't for people like that were coming alongside.
Pour raison ça n'a dit merci à tout membre comité. Merci tout le monde qui habite ce travail dans le canal. Merci tout monsieur Bedan yo.
For this reason, specifically, he's shouting out the committee. Thank you to the committee. Thank you to everybody who has been working here. Thank you to everybody that has been engaging here, Haitians in Haiti, with this work.
Gen plaisir quartier dans zone là, mais Bedan c'est lui numéro 1 dans fouiller travail yo. Bedan dans cette zone là même.
Oh, c'est une zone? Okay.
Malfeti, on a Bedan,
I was like, what's Bedon?
Yeah.
He's like, there are several communities around that have come to my community, Malfeti, and he's like, a big shout out to Bedon. That's a community right next, it's a neighboring community. They've left their community to come here and help us. Like, like, take a look at all of these workers, volunteer workers. You could take a look at all these workers. Usually there are significantly more workers that.
Wait, what do you mean volunteer? Like nobody, they're doing it for free?
Yeah. So sometimes they leak vraiment nous pas payer moun yo. En pile moun
Stay in one spot right here.
En pile moun vini, yep.
By oxygen.
Wherever there's agriculture, this agriculture is for the world because it gives oxygen to our world.
C'est là où pas qu'à respirer ou ouais ça oxygène vaut.
And when you're not able to breathe, you'll see the worth of oxygen. You'll see its importance.
Merci tout diaspora qui comprend ça, qui a contribué là pour finir le travail là et pour nous aider le monde là encore.
Thank you all the diaspora who understand this and who are investing in this work to be completed.
Quelle que soit la nationalité, de vous contribuer dans le travail ça, on va aider tout. Merci, c'est une question fondamentale.
It's a question, a fundamental question. Wherever you come from, if you invest in this world, if you invest in this work, you're investing in yourself. So thank you.
Vive Haïti, vive Haïtien, vive l'humanité.
Vive Haïti!
Vive Haïti!
Yeah!
Vive l'humanité.
Haïti!
Haïti! Pas Perry!
Pas Perry! Vive l'humanité, vive Colombie! Pour développement la caillou, pour développement pays.
They know that they are working for the development of their country, the development of their community. That's why they're volunteering.
Parce que les grands goûts, c'est n'a pas aller pour le travail. Si ça fait là, il va pas aller là encore. République dominicaine, on a aller travail.
They know that when they're hungry, that when they need to eat, a lot of them have to go to the Dominican Republic to work on the fields over there. But if we have this here, they're not going to have to go outside of our country in order to feed themselves. And so they're working here today so that in the future, they don't have to leave.
Les Haïtiens, la République dominicaine, c'est dans l'agriculture au travail. Dans le premier, deuxième, c'est maçon.
When the Haitians go to the Dominican Republic, the first thing that they work, the majority of Haitians that are in the DR, they're working within agriculture and then masonry. But like agriculture is where our strength is. That's where our people work. So why not work in agriculture in Haiti?
Yo dit, si ça réalise là, yo va aller République dominicaine encore. Elle prend humiliation. Il va pas prendre humiliation encore.
They said, if this is done here, if we can do this, we don't have to go into the DR and just receive a whole bunch of humiliation. We can stay here in our country, work our land. That's why it's a big deal. These volunteers, they're volunteering, but at the end of the day, they're working for themselves.
Yeah. So the volunteers are essentially a product of mistreatment. Like, you have to be really mistreated to the point where you're like, I can just do this in my own country and eventually get payment.
Tellement Dominicain yo traité nous mal, moun yo vle rete dans pays yo, c'est pour ça nous avons un canal parce que yo gens yo traité yo dans pays voisin nous. So il dit c'est presque tant que gens yo traité nous, bon nous force pour nous travailler.
Ça motive.
It's a motivation.
Réaction dominicaine avec haïtien motive nous travailler en plus.
The reaction of the Dominican Republic, the Dominicans towards Haitians, it motivates us to build our own stuff.
Depuis que jardin gen manger, pas intérêt pour aller l'autre bord encore.
If we have gardens, if we have food, if we have land, there is no need for us to leave our country. We can work our own land.
Pour raison ça, on a dit toute diaspora qui contribue.
For that reason,
Merci. Quel que soit le canal où contribuer là-dedans en Haïti, il va obliger canal ça.
for that reason, I'm saying every diaspora that has invested in this work, it doesn't matter if it's this canal or the other canal, or because there are like 5 canals across Haiti that have been birthed. Thank you for investing in all of the canals.
Canal Wanamet, canal Torbec, canal Farinet, canal des âmes dans la Tibonite. Et nous demandons, nous profitons de l'occasion pour nous dire, tout côté de rivière, Haïtien réveille nous pour nous faire canal.
All of these canals that he cited. And for this reason, I'm telling you, every single Haitian rise up. Anywhere that there are rivers, start building canals. Like, that's his call to action. Okay.
Thank you. Seriously, I look up to you.
Iti, c'est un monde où inspirer Anpil.
Oui, parce que nous-mêmes, c'est Haïtiens. Haïtiens connaissent sur le pays d'Haïti bien. Haïtiens doivent travailler pour le monde là, parce que nous-mêmes, c'est maman liberté.
He said, yes, because I am Haitian. And if you know the Haitian history well, then you know that we are the mother of liberty. We ought to work to make sure that the rest of the world, they respect us, they appreciate us. That's his duty.
Tout bon Haïtien qui respecte tête, qui respecte pays, qui respecte les ancêtres nous, qui respecte l'avenir, chaque Haïtien doit travailler pour tout le monde là.
Every Haitian that respects themselves, that respects our ancestors, that respect our country, they ought to work to make sure.
Nous devons travailler pour l'avenir du monde là.
We ought to work for the advancement of this world. Every Haitian that respects themselves, you ought to work to change the world.
Ça pas de nouveau dans nous parce que les ancêtres nous ont fait ça déjà.
And that's nothing new because our ancestors did the same exact thing. You remember the story 1804? I won't say it again. First free black republic in the world.
Grand pile pays en Amérique là, c'est grâce à Haïti qui fait indépendant.
There's a whole bunch of countries in Latin America. It's because of our freedom that they became free. Il sorti Colombia, il connaît ça bien. He knows that well.
OK. Pour raison ça, nous dit chaque Haïtien conséquent, tout Haïtien, on nous travaille ensemble pour payer capable d'avancer.
For that reason, I say every Haitian that is self-aware, let us work together for the advancement of our people.
Merci en tant que vous-même, c'est un Colombien. Merci, quelle que soit la nationalité qu'il a. Depuis travail pour l'agriculture ou travail pour l'humanité parce que plante libérer oxygène de l'air.
Okay. Thank you to you as a Colombian. Thank you to everyone wherever you come from. If you invest in agriculture, you're investing in humanity because plants release oxygen into the world.
Forêt Amazon au Brésil baille plus que 50% oxygène à travers le monde là.
The forest in the Amazon, Brazil, it gives like 50% of the oxygen. 50% oxygen
pour le monde là.
For the world.
Forêt c'est au Brésil, mais tout le monde qui vit sur la planète Terre a bénéficié d'oxygène ça.
The Amazon is in Brazil, but everyone in the world benefits from the Amazon.
Quel que soit côté de l'agriculture, il est fait pour tout le monde dans le monde.
Wherever there is agriculture.
Parce qu'il y a bail oxygène.
Wherever there is agriculture. This